A while back, I was working at a tiny startup building a pharmacy management system. And we were working for this pharmacist that had high highs and low lows. So when things were going great, you want to be around him. He was fun. But when things weren't going great, did not want to be in the same room with him. And one time I had an issue on something that I was working with that he didn't like. And I needed to have a meeting to talk to him about it. I dreaded, like, I didn't want to be part of that meeting. I didn't want to face that conversation, whatever it was. So I was putting it off, avoiding it, but constantly it was nagging in the back of my mind and I couldn't get away from it. So eventually we had that meeting. At first I was nervous. It was like, I didn't know what to say or whatever it was. But once I had that meeting, things turned around. It's been said, if possible, as much as it depends on you, live peaceably with everyone. Now, if peace is not something you care about, then you might as well skip this video. But if you want to have a peace of mind in your relationships, then stick around. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never came true. That's a quote attributed to Mark Twain. It's true, a lot of our fears around resolving conflict is based on things we imagine will go wrong, but typically never do. It's also been said, don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will take care of itself. Today has enough trouble of its own. Planning for the future is wise, but worrying about it, it's just draining. So if your goal is peace, and you want to do your part to create a peaceful world, here are 3 steps to resolve conflict. Step 1, identifying the conflict. So when you realize that somebody has something against you, what you want to do is contact them and have that conversation. Take that first step to initiate the conversation with them. Now, it's not about blaming them or defending yourself. It's about taking initiative. And the reason why you should do that is because you will be in a better emotional state than the other person to have that conversation. Step 2, prepare. Now, there are 2 things you want to consider before having that conversation. 1, what kind of outcome are you looking for? And 2, what price are you willing to pay for that outcome? When it comes to having those conversations, you will realize that there will be either a financial price or an ego price or some other price that you have to be willing to pay. Sometimes you have to humble yourself in order to resolve that conflict. It's also been said, where do fights and arguments come from? They come from your desires that war within you. So a lot of conflict is around our preferences, things that we want, not necessarily what's right and wrong. So in that case, what you want to do is identify what are your desires and what are you willing to forego. Step 3, have the crucial conversation. Now it's time to talk face to face, ideally. These crucial conversations are best done in person. Next best thing is over the phone, but if you can do it in person, that's the best way. So one key principle that I learned from crucial conversations, which is communication framework or conflict resolution framework that you can look up. In it, they have what they call state the path. Let me explain to you what that is and how it's beneficial to having that crucial conversation. Stating your path is when you hear the other person saying something to you and you observe their body language and how they say it. Your mind creates an automatic story in your mind of what they're trying to say. So you hear their words, but you create a story based on their body language combined with the words. And based on your story that you created in your mind, you then feel out these emotions. And based on your emotions, you react, you say something back, you gesture in a certain way. That's stating the path. What you want to do in that case to not escalate the conflict, but to de-escalate it is as soon as your mind creates that story, you need to question that story. And the way you question it is to paraphrase what they said in a neutral way. So if they said something happened, this and that, you say, okay, what I heard you saying is this or that. But you say it in such a way that's not accusatory, it's just neutral. Then they will clarify what they meant and it will subside the story that you created in your mind because it could be totally different than what you thought it was. So back to my story. Back when I had that conflict with the pharmacist, when I went in and had that crucial conversation with him, I did not have like a big ego. I apologized for whatever my issue was or my mistake was, and I didn't try to win the argument. Afterwards, we resolved the issue and I felt like a ton of weight lifted off my chest. I felt free to do whatever I needed to do next, and I didn't have this nagging thing in the back of my mind constantly nagging at me, stressing me out. And that's how these 3 steps helped me resolve that conflict there. Now, not every conflict can come to the same resolution where you'll have a peace of mind. But when you try, that will take the weight off of your mind and the constant stress in the back of your head. If you found value in this information, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on your notifications. I'm looking forward to learning and growing with you. Also, if you want to watch the personality types video that will help you understand the different dynamics of different people, click on the video here or watch another video on this side.